The Gitz are finally here.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we are taking a look at Wave 1 of the new Gloomspite Gitz models. These are all the new kits minus the scenery piece, which we're going to show you in the War Scroll dice book and Loonshire video, because there's a lot of material here and I really want to cover how this design of these new models really is kind of forward thinking on Games Workshop's part. It really gives us a lot of promising potential for designs in the future. Now, these 5 kits, there was also a kit of just Gitz, which was the old Night Goblins. You know, they're pretty basic. They can have bows or whatever. I didn't want to show you those because I feel like everybody's seen them at this point. They're like a million years old. But these kits right here are the main basis of Wave 1. Of course, you got the Endless Spells set that's $35. You got the Loonking, who is also $35. And then, strangely, they did the Squid Herd and the Hopper separately. And I kind of, once we dig into it, you'll kind of see why. And then the Fanatics actually have 2 different types of Fanatics now, which is kind of cool to see. Now, the Hoppers are 50. The Herd is 45 and the Fanatics are 40. And I remember, I think it used to be like 3 Fanatics was like around, I want to say $35 at some point. So I feel like it's not that, you're almost getting double for not double price. So, you know, for updating them over to Sigmar, I kind of feel like that's pretty neat, because they had to update the kit because there's been a million Fanatic models over the years, and it definitely makes sense there. So let's stop talking and jump in and take a closer look at all of these new miniatures. So 4 new Endless Spell miniatures are here for the Gitz, and as you can see, designed in the UK, made in China, in very, very tiny, small print right there, but that's okay. And they come with a plethora of base sizes here, the smaller oval, then you got the 60 mil and the 50 mil for the models. And as far as like detail goes, they're pretty well detailed. I mean, they're nice, big, you know, this is the chunky kind of, we'll call it the Asian plastic that we've seen throughout the years. And it's starting to get better and better in kind of design. I mean, you can see it really goes down and gets really finite down here with, this looks to be about a 170 super like ellipse. We'll call it an ellipse and not really an oval. And then you've got the rest of the detail there. So there is a lot of flat areas, and it would be better to probably paint this with an airbrush, but it is what it is. As far as attaching these together, they have the recesses all in the right place. You'll notice this is open, and then that right there kind of slots in, and then this is on the inside, these are on the outside. So you should get a nice good seal, but don't be stingy with the Vallejo plastic putty to kind of fill it up and get any of those gaps filled. Do not use that liquid green stuff. That's not good for gap filling, and I cannot say enough good things about the Vallejo plastic putty for filling gaps. The Squig hoppers are the largest by far of sprue count wise of all of these kits that have come out. Not the largest size wise, but they come with the most amount of sprues. But strangely enough, they also, what would normally take more sprues actually takes less sprues now, options wise. So you can get 10 of these dudes. You can either make the hoppers or the boingers. We'll call them boingers, boinger bounders, but I like boingers. That sounds better. They're little crazy knight kind of things here. And normally with something like this, we would expect a lot more sprues. They are on 32 mil bases, but this is a kit that you would expect like 1 sprue or potentially 2 sprues and then duplicate it. But you're only getting 3 sprues here, and there's a reason for that. And we'll show you some of the detail here in a second once we show you the instruction manual. Now, what I like about this, kind of talking about the intro, is the forward-thinking design here, where you make a base for the miniature, and then you just give so many options that you can really customize every little thing. So you notice the bases for the Squigs are right here, and they're all literally symmetrical. They're all duplicated. They're all the same. So whatever head you're going to put on there, see, these are all the same. So the difference between the models themselves are how you socket in these triangle pieces here for the legs and such, or the things that are holding them up. And the reason they use a triangle is because there's no slippage. If you put in a circle, you know, it doesn't always, it can fit any way, but then the triangle, it only fits you know, 3 particular ways, but you know which way the leg's supposed to point. So there's no guesswork. It's just boom, there it is. You're good to go. And then when it comes to interchangeable parts, this is really neat too. So they give you, we'll call these the tonsil parts, the mouths, so to speak. So you're going to get 2 of each mouth. And then down here, you get 2 of each deuter, right? Left and right halves of deuters. And then you get 2 of each head and 2 of each arm set. Now these are the same, the little robe deuters and everything, and then you got the mouth and all those pieces, but the arms are different for the little boingers in the back. So the only thing different between the boingers, let me show you, are the little weapons and everything. So you got, you know, 23, 24, it's all the same. This part is all the same, and then these are the new parts, but there's literally 2 of each, and then you got all these different squigs that it doesn't matter which face you put on. That's really neat. That's really forward thinking. And not only business wise, it's a good move on Games Workshop's part because you can actually put less sprues in here, but customization wise, it's great for hobbyists because back in the day, you know, they would make like maybe 3 models, maybe 4, and that would be a 10 model kit. So there'd always be duplicates. And now you have to really accidentally almost make a duplicate. And I really like this. I'm impressed by this Games Workshop. Your designs have come a long way in this whole run, this whole Gitz run, and you're really kind of showboating, and I love it, not in a bad way, what you can do with the computers and with your design principles and things like that. Like, I'm really impressed, and this is a great, really, really cool potential for future models. It doesn't matter if it's Age of Sigmar, 40K, or what have you. I just think it's a really, really good thing for the hobby in general. Because if you're going to be paying a premium price for these hobbies, then you really should get your money's worth, posability, and you're not going to have duplicates, which is really neat. And here you can kind of see there's some of the squig bases, and then you've got all your different heads, which socket right in them. You can tell they are literally all the same looking. And it's got wonderful design, all the stuff in the right places that you would expect from a bunch of crazy, any goblin that's crazy enough to even ride a squig. And then there's some of the armor pieces and the top knots and stuff. So really cool. I wish we had more time to actually put one of these kits together, but there's so much material to cover this week. If I had the chance, this would be the kit that I would put together for you guys. And next up is the Squid Herd. That's $45. The last kit I showed you was $50. You get 12 in here, you get 10 in there, but as you'll see, you get less sprues in here. So here's the Squid Herd, and this also has that modular kind of design and stuff too that I'm about to show you. You're about to see. It's really, really neat. There is less sprues, a lot less sprues. These are on 25 mils. And let me just show you. So you're getting less sprues, boom. But not that they're less detailed or anything like that. They just figured out how to do less. You get more with less. It's crazy. It's only crazy if it doesn't work. So all of the squigs go together in that same, you know, format where you've got the little sockets, boom. And then you've got all the different heads here. And I think by my count there was 11 heads if I'm not mistaken. But there is 10 deuters. But you could kind of put them any different way. So it starts with part 32, 35, 38. So yeah, I believe there was 11. And then there you can see where they're all modular and they all go on top of each other, right? Just depending on whichever way you want to go, they just socket right in. But here's another part that's modular, is depending on which version of the herder you want to make. You can make this herder with the, what is it, the chimes or the cymbals or whatever, or this like, I don't know, we'll call them a piper. The piper herder if you want, and they give you the ways to do it, but it's basically with the same base kind of kit. Same over here. These herders, you could get the little pokey stick guy or the little like incense guy. Bring out your squigs, and that just all goes together either way. So you only get 2 dudes in here, but if you have multiple squig herds, you can have multiple herders. So again, nothing, it will look the same unless you accidentally make it the same. That's what's really cool and really neat, because this is something that we really don't see very often. And it's to see multiple kits together in the same release, it's a great precedent, and I'm very, very impressed by this design. And you know, you could just be like, oh, squigs, I've seen those before, but this is actually groundbreaking for Games Workshop, I feel like, and expect more of this going into the future, especially on the Age of Sigmar side. So here you can see you've got your heads. You got your, where is it? Oh, well, these you got a socket in the legs. They don't go in that triangle formation, kind of like the last one, but they still, instead of using that slotted base, they have little mushroom patches and things to kind of still simulate that movement and not be all staticky. And then you got your herders over here. So all in all, another kit I'm definitely impressed by. And last but certainly not least is Scag the Loonking, who is the special character. The moon talked to him, and he's rallying all the Gitz up and getting them all fired up and doing stuff. It comes in the typical little collector's box. It's $35, and like you saw with the little tray right there, like we've seen in the past, and you just pop them out. Use these little sprue grabbers. I like to call them sprue grabbers, and it's got the small oval right there. So he has his little I don't know, little cape, little squig grabbers, kind of holding his cape. Now, as far as, well, how does it open up to, there we go. As far as the model itself goes, you know, it's kind of the normal GW splice and dice kind of type deal. There isn't a whole lot of custom posability with this guy because, you know, you're kind of pigeonholed into the way he is. There will be probably some seams that you're going to have to fill, so bust out your Vallejo plastic putty again and get to it, because you don't want those unsightly seams kind of really taken away from the model once you get it painted. You know, just to have a random like line down his cloak, you're like, oh, what's that? And it looks like there will be right here down the middle of the cloak, so you're gonna want to probably putty all of that up. Let's see. Yep, there you can see the left and the right half going together, so be very aware of that. That will be kind of unsightly, to say the least. And there's his war skull too, in case you were wondering. But that's all the mans. That is all of the Gitz for this week. Like I said, I think the design work and all of the extra effort Games Workshop definitely put into the design of these guys is really showing through, and it leaves a huge opportunity and to impress hobbyists with future designs for all the other kind of Age of Sigmar factions out there. And remember, this is kind of a combo faction, so you're gonna have the Troggoths and the Spider Fangs and all the other duders inside of here. I just can't seem to make that work. Anyways, so that's it for this one, y'all. Thanks for watching. I super appreciate you tuning into all these videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.
Spiking bits.